WHO really shapes our lives? Buddhism's answer may surprise you. Have you ever wondered why some people work incredibly hard, yet life seems full of obstacles, while others appear to receive help at just the right moment? Is everything simply a matter of luck? Or is there an invisible force quietly influencing every human life? This is a question that has fascinated people for thousands of years. From a practical point of view, every person must take responsibility for their own life. No one can live your life for you. If you want food, you must work. If you want knowledge, you must study. If you want peace, you must cultivate wisdom and kindness. Success cannot simply be handed to us. We must make choices, put forth effort, and accept the consequences of our actions. This is the reality we all experience. However, Buddhism teaches that reality is deeper than what we can see with our physical eyes. Beyond the visible world lies a spiritual dimension that also influences our lives. According to Buddhist teachings, every living being is affected by two invisible forces. The first is the law of karma. Karma is not punishment or reward given by someone else. It is the universal law of cause and effect. Every thought, every word, and every action plants a seed. Kindness plants the seeds of happiness. Compassion creates peace. Greed, hatred, and harmful actions eventually bring suffering. Nothing happens without a cause. The circumstances we experience today are largely the results of causes we created in the past. Some of these causes were planted recently, while others may have been created long ago, beyond what we can remember. Understanding karma changes the way we see life. Instead of blaming fate or resenting others, we begin to accept responsibility for ourselves. We realize that every moment is an opportunity to create better causes for a better future. But Buddhism also teaches that karma is not the only influence in our lives. There is another invisible force. It is the boundless compassion of enlightened beings, the Buddhas and the noble saints. Out of great compassion, they sincerely wish for all beings to suffer less, awaken wisdom, and eventually find liberation. Sometimes their guidance comes through unexpected ways. Perhaps someone appears at exactly the right moment to help you. Perhaps you hear a few simple words that completely change your life. Perhaps an opportunity opens when all doors seemed closed. Or perhaps, just before making a serious mistake, a sudden moment of clarity arises in your mind. Many Buddhists believe these moments can be expressions of compassionate guidance. However, there is something very important to understand. Even though the Buddhas and the noble beings possess immeasurable compassion, they do not violate the law of karma. They cannot simply erase the consequences of our actions because they feel sorry for us. Their compassion always works in harmony with karma, not against it. Imagine a teacher who deeply loves every student. The teacher can explain, encourage, inspire, and provide every opportunity to learn. But if a student refuses to study, the teacher cannot honestly award that student a perfect grade. Compassion cannot replace personal responsibility. The law of karma works in much the same way. This is why Buddhism encourages us not merely to pray for blessings, but to become worthy of receiving them. How do we do that? By creating merit through wholesome actions. Help others whenever you can. Speak truthfully and kindly. Practice generosity. Develop humility. Live with integrity. Choose compassion instead of anger. And every day, continue planting good seeds through your thoughts, your words, and your actions. At the same time, cultivate sincere gratitude and reverence for the Buddhas and the noble saints. Not because we expect miracles, but because they have shown humanity the path that leads beyond suffering. True respect is an expression of gratitude for their wisdom, compassion, and selfless guidance. When a person creates wholesome karma, lives ethically, and maintains a heart filled with gratitude, life gradually begins to change. Merit increases. Wisdom grows. The mind becomes calmer. and the path ahead becomes brighter. So remember this. In the visible world, we must make our own effort. In the invisible world, our lives are shaped by two great forces, the law of karma and the compassionate love of enlightened beings. When we understand both, we stop waiting for life to change on its own. Instead, we choose to become kinder, wiser, more grateful, and more responsible every single day. And perhaps, that is where true peace and true happiness really begin.